bucket and a mop. That's so wet. That's so wet. Hello, YouTube. I wanted to have a little talk about, racism, sexism, and how we don't give people the chance to grow and change and learn. I think everybody deserves hope for a better future. And I personally, right now, am just going to talk about my experience with things and how I think that people can go from being someone who makes fun of people who fight for social justice to someone who fights for social justice. But how I'm scared right now with the state of the world and how we're not really giving people that chance in the first place. We're not giving them a chance to fuck up and then become a better person. So I'm going to talk about my story. I was raised in a town. It's called Cottonwood. It's in Arizona. It's a really small town. It's, a pretty conservative type of a town. My family was Republican. My mother was white. My stepfather was Hispanic. And in my house, saying racist shit was normal. Like the people that I was raised around, and I'm just going to say this right now, I smile and I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. So hopefully that makes you understand when I'm laughing and stuff. But it was normal. I grew up in a town where it was normal in my mind to be racist. It was normal to be sexist. It was normal to be homophobic. Like, of course, I used gay as an insult all the time growing up. Like, my family wasn't as far gone. Like, they didn't say the N-word in my house. But at the same time, there was all these, like, subtle, weird racial things that they would talk about in our house. I mean, like, one of my uncles is, like, super, super racist, in my opinion. So, like, those were just things that I thought were normal. Like, I hated women. Sexism was normal in my house. Women were, like, less than. We weren't as good as men. Like, but until I left my house and I left that environment and I went down to college, I went down to Arizona State, I didn't really start to change. Like, I started to support Obama my senior year of high school, but I got a lot of backlash in my house for supporting Obama. Like, it wasn't like that. And then I go to college and I slowly begin to think for myself. And it was a slow process. It's not like it suddenly happened overnight. I took one women's studies class and I learned, like, how ingrained sexism was into my life. I had no idea how much sexism was in my life before I took that class. They're like, until I started learning about racism, until I started learning about homophobia and sexism, it's what just seemed normal to me. And that's sad. I'm ashamed of that fact, but I acknowledge it. I'm not going to act like, oh my God, I've never had a racist thought or I've never had a homophobic thought, or like, dude, I've had to struggle with my internalized, like, hatred of women for so long. So it just scares me when kids say and do stupid shit. Like it took me a long time. Like I said, I moved down to college and then I got in a relationship with someone who definitely was not that open-minded. And anytime I would try and have conversations in that direction, I would feel like a fucking idiot. It's hard. You don't understand what it's like for groupthink to exist. You don't understand what it's like to live in a household or be in a relationship where it's not really okay for you to have a differing, like, opinion or a differing train of thought. Like, it really was not until I left my ex, like, all of those things, that I began to fully think on my own. Like, I had conversations, really intelligent conversations with my cousins that started to spark this, like, okay, I might be making fun of social justice, but deep down, my morality, it did not line up with that. It did not line up with that at all. Once I actually had a conversation with my cousins, my mind was open. And it still took me a while to stop saying stupid fucking shit. Like, I kept saying stupid shit for so long. And I'm just going to talk about, like, when I lived in Connecticut, I was fucking depressed. I was fucking depressed. It was before the election. I lived with my boyfriend. I was all alone. I didn't have any friends. Like, I was like really deep into conspiracy theories back then too, because I was so alone. And then I would go on Twitter and I would say really stupid shit, like shit that I am so ashamed of saying these days. Such racially insensitive things. And there were so many people that had amazing conversations with me in my messages, and that's what got me to change my mind. All of the hundreds of people attacking me at once and trying to like ostracize me from the sex work community, like the only community that I belonged to a part of. It's like, why do you think people go and join extremist groups? You're cutting them off from the people who have the potential to change their minds and make them grow. I just, it scares me when people like, they have the chance to go to college and they don't get to go to college anymore. That's where people's minds are open. And if I would have been canceled growing up for this stupid fucking shit that I said, that I had been taught, I didn't have a choice. I didn't get to choose to have open-minded parents that weren't racist or homophobic or sexist. I was born into that fucking family. I didn't get to have a choice. But if social media existed in the way that it does now, and any of that really stupid shit that I used to say it for positive attention, to be cool. Deep down, I always knew that it hurt to say those jokes looking back, you know? You don't really believe it deep down, but I didn't know what I believed. I just went along with what was cool, with what was popular. I didn't fucking think. But if I didn't get that chance to leave that small town, to leave my family that was so fucking abusive, that put those thoughts in my brain, I would not have had the chance to become someone now that fights for social justice. That, you know, like it breaks my heart to think about these kids that don't get the fucking chance to change. They're not even getting the chance to change. They're not getting a chance to be around a different group of friends. They're not getting a chance to go to that women's studies class and have it like finally break free and realize that you're not less than because you're a fucking woman, you know? And it breaks my heart. And people want revenge. People want all of these things. And I genuinely want there to be a better fucking world in the future. I don't want people to lose hope for having a better future because they fucked up. You know? We all fuck up, and you shouldn't have that taken away from you. I truly believe that people should only be ostracized from their communities when they need to have their supply of victims taken away from them. That's the only time when they need to stop having access to more victims that they abuse or hurt. And I've thought about this so much because ostracizing people from our community is just going to push them further into the arms of these fucking extremist groups. So I know I had to take some time away from toxic because all of the stupid shit that I've done in my past just kept getting brought up. And I'm like, damn, I'm trying to be a better person. I'm not going to change overnight. People don't change overnight. You know, you're fucking lucky you didn't have parents like mine who raised me to think the way that they did. That so much abusive behavior in that house, including the homophobia. Why do you think I never uttered a word about being bisexual until I left the house? You know? And that hatred, it's inside of you still. It's inside of you in a little bit. So I just want there to be hope for a better future, you know? Like, try and cancel me again. I don't know. It's good. Whatever. The shit that I have said on Twitter, the shit I have done on Twitter, and the shit I have done, there is so much more in my life that I have done that is worse. And I'm ashamed of it. I am ashamed of it. But I know that if, God forbid, that shit was recorded back when I was in high school and it was put on the internet right now, so many people would be trying to cancel me and not giving me a chance to change, not giving me the chance to go to college, not giving me the chance to open my mind to things. And that's what is bad about cancel culture. And there's, you know, people take that and anytime they need to be accountable for their behavior, they pull out the word cancel culture. But there is a genuine thing that happens. And that's my opinion on it. You know, I'm going to admit that I was raised in those environments. I will. You want to know why? Because right now, my mother is on Facebook saying that she has never said anything racist or done anything racist before. And I'm just like, what the fuck? That's not the way we change, people. That's not the way we change. Yes, it's ignorance. It's stereotypes. People rely on stereotypes when they have not been personally exposed or educated on a topic. They do it with sex work. They do it with people who are transgender. They do it with people who are homosexual. That's why you gotta battle these things. You gotta just, everyone's a person. That's the basis of all of these things, is that you're a fucking person, and people just want to feel superior to each other. So they like make these fucking hierarchies, and it's dumb and it's pointless. And yeah, that's me opening my heart to you. And let me have a message to all the people that are still out there like this. Listen up. You've said and done dumb shit in the past, and now there's evidence of it on the internet. Own it. Just own it. You want to know why? Because that's part of you. And you want to know what? The most important person to forgive is yourself. It's yourself. You are the most important person that you need to forgive. We have all done some terrible shit in our lives. I have done some terrible shit that I'm ashamed of. Not even in regards to this, just in life, you know? So it's okay. You are allowed to change. You're allowed to fuck up. You're allowed to become a better person if you want to be. And I will be the person who welcomes you with open arms. Even if you have terrible things in your history and in your past, if you really want to be a person who changes and who grows and wants to be someone who helps progress society towards the future, just like you believe in equality, you believe in diversity, you believe in these things, then, you know, it's not enough to be not racist. You have to be actively anti-racist. You have to be actively anti-homophobic, actively anti-transphobic, actively everything, all of these things that society does that are wrong, you know? And I don't want people to feel like they don't ever have hope for the better future. I don't want people to feel like the only people that they have acceptance for are the hatred, the groups that are filled with hate. I don't want people to feel that way. You always have a chance for a better future. And, you know, I believe that. And that's just me, in my opinion. And other people are allowed to feel whatever the fuck they want. Okay? I'm not telling you how to feel. You are more than welcome to fucking cut these people out of your life forever. That is your prerogative. I have a lot of fucking privilege. I have a lot of privilege when it comes to this shit. So I'm going to try and use it, you know? I'm not the one that's dealing with this shit every single day of my life. I'm dealing with the sexism and the sex work shit, but I'm not transgender. I'm not black, I'm white. I get it. So, you know, but we need to talk to each other. That's the way things change, is talking to each other. So I love you guys. I hope you guys all have a good day. Thanks for joining me, the people that were here, that were live. I love you, Joseph. I love you, Robert. Love you, DJ. I don't know about Lil Velo because he wasn't here very long. I don't know if I love him yet, but I just want the world to be a better place for as many people as, you know, possible. And yeah, we can all make the world a better place together. I truly believe it. I truly believe it. I think that not having hope for a better future is just, you know, sometimes I feel that way in moments, but I think there are more good people. No, I don't believe people are good and bad. I don't believe that. There are more people out there that are trying to wake up. They're not trying to have their subconscious run the show. They are aware of their feelings and their emotions and how their feelings and their emotions affect their actions in this world. We are waking up. We are collectively waking up as a society, okay? And I don't believe anybody is good or bad. I believe people are healthy or unhealthy. And if you are someone who has unhealthy behavior, you can develop healthy behavior. If you are someone who was raised in a racist environment, you can become unracist or anti-racist. All the hate that you have learned, you can unlearn it if you want to and if you want to try. And then your life will be so much happier, so much healthier, so much more filled with love. We can have a better future for each other. You know what? the stuff that comes from race, you know, it's like a fucking spider web. There's so many different things that intersect, and it's just something we need to talk about. We need to talk about it more. You know, if I didn't have those conversations with my cousins, like it was like 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was actively making fun of people who fought for social justice. Shame. Ugh. Like I went back and read those screenshots and I was like, oh my God, this is so cringy. Like, oh, I just thought it was so cool. Oh, so cringy. And then I went to Washington and I had a conversation with a cousin that I had been making fun of about social justice. And she completely changed my mind about something. Okay. She opened it. That was the first step in a long step of educating myself and changing myself. So I need to cut this off so it's not like 45 minutes long. But you too can change. You can better someone. Have uncomfortable conversations when you can, you know? Ask them, are you willing to have a conversation with me about this? No judgment. Let's go. Let's open some minds. Let's spike the water supply with mushrooms. I'm just kidding. Or acid. I don't know. I want hope for a better future. I want to see you all there. And I love you. What do they say at the end of YouTube videos? Go like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you want to say what else I should make videos about. I love you guys. I hope you all have a good day, good rest of your day. And thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Quality over quantity, because you guys are badass.